What's going on, guys? Mitch here, and today we're taking a look at the Sram Red D1 derailleur. Now, if you will have seen last week in my group set unboxing video, I really quickly glossed over this derailleur, and I kind of wanted to give it its own kind of couple minutes of time versus, the quick unboxing. Obviously, there's a lot of technology going on here. We're probably going to mess up a good chunk of it as we go through this. But at least it's a great way to kind of get to know the derailleur, and for the people that are interested in replacing the E1, or maybe might be shopping the D1 versus the E1, or the E1 versus the D1, this being the newer of the two, the E, you know what, at least you'll kind of know what you're getting, and kind of take things from there. So let's do a quick overview. This is not formal, this is casual, this is just us shooting the breeze, taking a look at a really cool new product that was released this past summer. So where do we start? The Sram Red E1. A couple features that distinguish it versus the D1. The main thing that you probably look at is that the derailleur cage is quite a bit longer. So when it's longer like that, and let's be honest, we're kind of talking it's marginally longer, it just means you can kind of get a little more cassette range. So I believe the old cassette, don't quote me on this, don't quote me, but I think the old cassette range on the D1 was 33 teeth. I think that sounds right, because I don't really recall them making cassettes bigger than that. And then they came out with Sram Red Explore, XPLR or whatever, Explore, and then they bumped up the range on that for the gravel bikes. And then this way, they basically just bumped it up on the E1 to a little bit more range. So longer cage. It's still carbon composite. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I don't know if this has that little bumper I can stick. It used to have a little bumper you could stick out and then it would hold itself open. I don't know if it has that anymore, but that's where it would be. So I guess it doesn't. It was right there. Boop. Just hold. Anyway, so long composite cage, and I guess I'll just hold it out like this so you can take a look at it. On my old SRAM D1, I put on a Ceramic Speed OSPW, which is really cool. Did an install video on that if you want to check out the channel. Don't know if I'm going to do that on this one quite yet, as everything on it is brand spanking new and running nice and silky smooth, but Black Friday is a week away, and sometimes the deals, if they're half price, I may be persuaded to look at that. So heads up on that. They do come with this little door here, or this little cover for the derailleur battery. So basically, don't lose this when you kind of get the group set, or if you buy the derailleur and by itself, it will come with this little cover. The reason for it, you think, oh, well, why would I be taking the battery off? Typically, it's for when you travel. You'll pop the battery off because they are motion activated. So when you are moving the derailleur in the car, or if it's just sitting like this in the back seat of your car and it's kind of moving around, you're going to be draining the battery. So a lot of people pop them off, and then they'll end up damaging these two little prongs somehow or another. So don't throw that out. The other thing is you can actually go in the app and I believe just turn it off so that you can deactivate it. You can put it in travel mode, which requires quite a bit more effort in order to actually turn it on. You have to sync it and then physically unsync it out of travel mode. So something to think about. But I like that how it comes with the cover. If we kind of keep going around here, I don't know if you can actually see down the tube inside here, but it appears to be an aluminum. A lot of people are going to strip those out, I can tell you that right now, putting the wrong Allen key in there, or hex key. But it is aluminum, so don't be surprised if they do strip that. Otherwise, pretty standard, right? You still have your adjustment for kind of rotation. You've kind of got your tension here, which pushes this guy away, which actually distances everything away from the cassette. But adjustment-wise, it's still the same as any other SRAM derailleur. We have our limit screws as well. Also, I will do a video when I do throw this on the bike, and I'll walk you through how to kind of install your limits. But basically, it's pretty simple. You're just basically finding the range that you want your derailleur when it is plumbed correctly with a cassette, how far you want it to go big, and how far you want it to go small. That's all those are, right? This guy, you're just basically spacing how far you want it away from the cog, which once again has to do with the range of the cassette. Pretty simple. It sounds a lot harder than it is, but they're mechanical, right? So it's pretty easy to tune. As well, a couple other things let's kind of talk about. What do we notice on these pulley wheels, guys? What's different? Actually, not wheels. Let's look at the one wheel. What's different on this pulley wheel compared to previous gens? We've got a narrow, wide profile. Narrow, wide. That's borrowed from the mountain bike side. And what that does is it keeps the chain on the rollers. Keeps it from falling off. Might not seem like much of an innovation, but I assure you, the narrow, wide pulley wheel is a big game changer. Keep that in mind. You know, a lot of mountain bikers now are running one by, and you'll start to see it slowly. You're already seeing it on the gravel side, but you may see it get more traction on the road side as well, where, you know, the problem there is actually huge cross chaining to get the range that you need with a big ring, but that's another conversation. But you'll start to see the front chain rings on their bikes be that profile, narrow, wide. So, in narrow, wide, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see the pulley. Let's see if I can zoom in, lighten that up a bit. I'm filming black, so it doesn't really like to show it. But anyway, narrow, wide, meaning if you look at the teeth, it goes from narrow to wide. Narrow to wide. So, anyway, something to think about. I originally said during the unboxing, I thought that this pulley slid around. I thought it had a needle bearing inside here, but I guess I'm wrong, because I can't seem to think, I can't see why this would move, because I remember the new Eagle stuff, new AXS stuff, they stuck an Allen key or a stick through there and kind of stuck that and kind of rotated this around. And for some reason, I thought it was on this too, but I guess, unless I'm missing something, I guess you don't really need it on a road setting. It would just be another piece of weight on there, which is not needed whatsoever. Maybe it's on the gravel side. That would make a little more sense, where you're kind of getting into some light off-road use, but not so much on the road side. What else have I missed here, guys? So I talked about the cage, talked about there's the AXS light for pairing. You just hold that down and you pair that with your front shifter. Pretty simple. And as well, it will blink red when the battery's low, so keep that in mind. And if you're running it with various, you know, I'm using a Garmin head unit. Well, I guess now I'll be using a Karoo that this thing came with. I'll try that out, and if it sucks, I'll get rid of it. But in the past, your Garmin will actually have a battery indicator light as well. So it's kind of pretty easy to see when these things are running out of juice. And I would really think, like, back years and years ago, I sound like an old man. Back years and years ago, Shimano was the king of the roost. The shifting performance was better, and last year I ran the new Derailleur 12-speed, and I'm telling you, it shifts fantastic. But you know what? SRAM Red also shifts fantastic, and it is also 10 times easier to set up with no cables, no partial wireless, no battery storage. It's just you bolt it on, you attach the battery, and you're done. And even to me, this is going to sound ridiculous, even to me, if it doesn't shift as good, I prefer those features. The rear mech to rear mech, they shift identical. It was the front derailleur on the Dura Ace that outshone the Sram Red D1. So I'm kind of curious to see if we've maintained the shifting on the E1 version of the rear mech. Great. Then I'm not missing anything. It was a beautiful system, but I'm hoping the front derailleur is where they made some new improvements. So there you go. That's my. I was supposed to probably take 5 minutes, and I've probably taken almost 10, so I apologize on that. But as you can see, it's a beautiful derailleur. Lots of weight that's kind of been taken out, milled out of it in spots. Oh, there you go, Max 36.2. That's even written on here. Actually, probably should have said that earlier, but I didn't. I just said it had an increased cog size, so 36, and I think the old one was 33. So a little more modern for what people are looking for. And as well, there's a massive clutch in here. Clutch meaning that it bounces around and doesn't lose a chain. Very simple. Okay, I think I will leave it at that. I don't think there's much else I've really missed. Being 10 minutes in, I'm sorry, but hopefully that was enough for if anyone wanted to see it in detail or look at it at a certain angle or a certain position, then they can certainly do that. So there you go. And I guess actually now looking at the top pulley, I actually dig how they kind of cut out to the inside of here, because oil has a place to fall out, or wax has actually a place to kind of fall out and go. It's a nice little treat. Okay, alright guys, I will leave it at that. That's the SRAM Red E1 2024 or 2025, whatever version it is. It's the latest. I'm putting this video up in late November 2024, so there you go. Follow me for the continuous project build of a bike, which I still don't know what it is, but deep down I think we all do. Alright, peace guys.